Hi, I'm Loretta Barra. We're going to be painting with our watercolor art kit today, and I've got 3 paintings. I'm going to work on the Highland cow, and you will get a larger piece of paper. It's watercolor paper. It's an 8 by 10, and it will be pre-traced. I'm using a smaller one just for today, just to show you a sample of how to paint with these fun paint strips. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I have some poster board that I got at the dollar store, and I've got some masking tape, and I like to tape down my painting that I'm going to paint, the watercolor paper, so it won't ripple quite as much. And you could tape it down on 2 sides or all 4. I'm just going to do 2 for now. I've got my water here, paintbrush. I do have a color chart which I include in the kit to show you how to make different colors with the color strip. And we've got the 5 colors here and just a plain piece of paper for a palette, and I'll show you how we work with that. So the first thing we're going to do, let's try working on the hat, which is red. I'm getting my paintbrush full of water. I'm going to pull some of the red paint off of this paint strip, and I'm going to put it on my palette to see the color. And I think that's a perfect color for, let's put this here so we can see what we're working on. That's our reference page. And I've got my color chart there. Alrighty, and then we just start painting. Now with watercolor, when you come across white, there is no watercolor that's white. Well, there is, but we very rarely use it because the paper's white. So we're just going to leave the white areas white. And we will put a little shadow in. Usually the shadows are a gray or a purplish color. And you can see that on the reference photo. There's some shadow in there to show that the white is a fluffy cotton-like white. So do you see I keep pulling the color off of my little palette rather than directly from the paint strip. The paint strips, you've got 2 in each art kit, and that should be more than enough for 3 paintings. You'll probably have some extra left over to paint more paintings with it. So we've got red there. I've got red right here. I'm going to add a little water so I can pull up more of the paint off of my palette. And we're just going to place the red in here. And then we see where else to put red. And that's the candy cane, the stripes, every other stripe. I've enclosed a little brush for you to paint with. You could use bigger brushes if you have them. And the paper that I have enclosed is 8 by 10 size watercolor paper, and it's 90 pound. I'm going to get a little more red on my brush here because I want these a little darker. There are different weights of watercolor paper. The higher you go, the thicker the paper is, which does make it easier to add more layers. For instance, if you wanted to put more layers of color on these ornaments, like maybe 8 layers, you'll need thicker paper to do that. But this paper is great for what we're doing. And you can come back and add more color once it dries. Our next color is going to be a brown. So let's see how to make brown. It looks like we could do maybe the crimson with the blue. We'll try that, or with the lemongrass green. Let's see what we get. Let's get the crimson in here again. And I'm going to clean off my brush, and I'm going to add a little green and see what happens. And there we go. That got us a nice brown. So the Highland cow has different colors of brown. I bet you never thought the red with green would be brown, huh? So part of the fun of this is you're going to start learning how to mix paints. So if you do really get into watercolor, you can just buy a few colors and make every color you need with them. You don't need to have 20,000 colors of paint. So that's what's fun about using this kit. You're going to learn a lot about mixing colors because you only have 5 colors. Truthfully, you only need like 3 colors: red, yellow, and blue. Those are the primary colors, which make just about every color you could ever need. So it's a matter of figuring out how to mix them. So I'm just putting these different streaks in here. Some are darker, some are lighter. So just have fun. I'm putting a darker brown where there would be shadow, which is under the chin and different areas where it might be a little darker. You can see that in the photo here. So I want that a little darker. Let's get a little more green and add that. So we have a little darker color in here now. But I'm bringing it down. And as you add water, it gets lighter. That's how you lighten watercolor, is with water, not white. Okay, let's do some dark in here. So I'm just putting all different colors of browns throughout. And if you notice, I am turning the brush the way the hair is on the cow. I'm not painting straight across. I went a little bit darker, so let's get a little more green. Put it on my palette. See if there's a little darker color. So we've got some darker browns in here. So cute. Okay, so here we needed a little bit of yellow color in there. I'm going to add some of this pastel orange, which is like a yellow, and I am actually going to mix it with a little of that brown I made and put that in where his nose is. Now when you paint this, you can have, it doesn't have to look just like my paintings or the reference one. You can do different colors of brown. Don't worry about it. Just kind of have it fun. And now I want a little more of the pink for the nose instead of, let's add a little pink. That might be fun. It's a metallic pink color. Okay, let's just try mixing that together. See how I'm mixing it with the brown to make it a little pinker. Okay. Now for the horns, we're going to go, and it's mostly white, but we need a little bit of this brownish color again. Let's go back here and take a little more of that yellow and add it to our brown that was here. Pull some of that color off of the palette, and we're just going to have it where the horn is on the bottom. And just pull that color and make it lighter. So there's not quite a line. And this is just a little of the horn sticking out there. Okay, I like that. Now we need to make some black for the eyes. So we're gonna try making some black with blue. And let's try a dark green and see how that goes. Green. Let's see, that's green, took over. So let's try the red. In here. Once again, red with the green. Okay. Red and green tends to work pretty well. It's a dark brown, which is fine. Just where the little nose is here. Now, my brush is a little wet. I've got a Kleenex. I'm just going to dry it off a little and dry this off a little bit. My paper towel. This is actually a Kleenex. Just a little too wet. And let's do the eyes brown. This dark brown color. Okay. There we go. And the string. We can just color that and that. Okay, you can play around, add more color in here because it's dry. So just come and play with the different colors or browns. Here. And then the last step will be adding a little detail in the white. And it looks like it's kind of a purplish color. So let's see, it's like a lavender. Let's try pink with the blue on our palette. So I've got the pink. My brush is too wet. Pink with a tiny bit of blue, just a dot of blue. Okay, that's a really light purple, too light, a little bit more blue in there. Let's try it here. Okay, so what we want to do is not have too much water. I'm just going to be coming around and making it look a little, I think that's too purpley. Let's pull some of this brown in here and see what happens. See how that graded about a little more? It's more gray than purple. That's a little better, although the purple's prettier. Let's just go like this. We'll just put some little specks in here and around here. And in here, I'm just doing little circles of color. We want it to pretty much be white. The candy cane has a little bit of shadow, but it's mostly white. And there you go. So that's how you use the color strip and the chart. And you will also just start mixing things together and get colors you like. If this is too much pink, you say, okay, let's go back and make brown again. I've got some brown right here and here, and I can come in and get rid of some of that pink. If you like the pink, you leave it on. Once it's dry, just come back and do another pass of color. It's called glazing. And you can cover the colors that you already have and add another color. Okay, so you've learned a little bit about watercolor. You've got a fun art kit. You pretty much the same colors here, and then you get to play with the blues here. So have fun, enjoy.